Sunlight vanishes just 200 meters below the waves, and with every meter deeper, the ocean transforms. Familiar life gives way to creatures so bizarre, their anatomy seems impossible. This descent isn't random horror, it's driven by crushing pressure, utter darkness, and hunger that warps evolution itself. Less than 5% of the seafloor is even mapped, yet scientists know deep-sea animals become stranger and more alien the farther you go. So what really forces these creatures to grow glowing lures, transparent flesh, or jaws out of nightmares, and what else waits in the uncharted dark? At the ocean's surface, light pours down in shifting blue patterns, fueling a world that feels almost familiar. Here, in the upper 200 meters known as the sunlight zone, life bursts in every direction. Schools of silverfish dart between coral towers. Moon jellyfish drift with their delicate, translucent bells, pulsing gently in the current. Most marine animals people recognize, dolphins, sea turtles, even the great white shark, never stray far from these sunlit waters. Photosynthesis powers this realm, supporting a dense web of predators and prey, where color and speed rule. Yet for all its richness, this bright layer is only a thin skin on the planet's largest habitat. Just beyond reach, sunlight fades to a ghostly blue, then disappears entirely. Below 200 meters, darkness takes over and the rules of survival change. Scientists estimate that less than 5% of the seafloor has been mapped in detail, leaving most of the ocean unexplored. The surface hides a vast unknown stretching down for kilometers. As Dr. Edith Widder once said, "We know more about the surface of Mars than our own deep sea." The contrast is staggering. Above, a riot of familiar forms. Below, an expanse where life must invent new ways to survive. The boundary between these worlds is sharp. With each meter down, pressure increases, light slips away, and the creatures that thrive here begin to look less and less like anything found near the sun. The descent from comfort is steep, and what waits in the dark is stranger than imagination. Pressure builds quickly in the twilight zone. By 300 meters down, every square inch of a creature's body is squeezed by 30 times the force at the surface. Sunlight fades to a dim, ghostly blue, then vanishes entirely. Here, survival means blending in or vanishing altogether. The hatchetfish, for example, has a body so thin it's almost two-dimensional, reflecting the faintest glimmers above. Along its belly, rows of tiny organs called photophores emit just enough light to erase its shadow, making it invisible to predators lurking below. This trick is called counter-illumination, a living cloak of light in a world that's mostly dark. The glass squid takes a different approach. Its body is nearly transparent, with only its eyes giving away its presence. In a place where food is scarce and danger comes from every direction, being invisible is a matter of life and death. These early deep-sea inhabitants are shaped by the relentless climb of pressure, one atmosphere for every 10 meters descended, and the vanishing trace of sunlight. Each adaptation is a direct response to a world where the rules of the surface no longer apply. Camouflage. Here means more than changing color. It means becoming a shadow, a flicker, or nothing at all. The journey downward has only just begun, but already the ocean is demanding innovation from every living thing. The midnight zone begins 1 kilometer beneath the surface, where sunlight vanishes and the ocean becomes a world of endless black. Here, the only light comes from the creatures themselves. Bioluminescence is everywhere. Bursts of blue, green, and even red pulse through the water. This glow is not just for show, it is a tactical weapon used to hunt, hide, and communicate in the dark. The dragonfish, for example, carries a row of light organs along its belly and a barbel tipped with a glowing lure. Unlike most deep-sea fish, it can produce red light, invisible to most prey, but perfect for spotting a meal without being seen. Its jaws open wide, lined with needle teeth, ready to snap shut on anything drawn in by the glow. Nearby, the pelican eel patrols the blackness with a jaw that can open as wide as its own body. Its bioluminescent tail acts as a living fishing rod, waving and flashing to attract curious prey. When something ventures close, the eel's enormous mouth engulfs it whole, a necessary adaptation in a place where meals are rare and unpredictable. The giant squid, a legend of the deep, relies less on glowing lures and more on its extraordinary eyes. Each eye can reach up to 27 centimeters across, the largest in the animal kingdom. These massive eyes are tuned to catch the faintest glimmer of bioluminescent flashes, spotting prey and predators alike in the pitch-black water. In the midnight zone, survival depends on seeing without being seen, glowing to attract or confuse and seizing every chance to eat. Every adaptation is a response to darkness, pressure, and scarcity, a silent arms race unfolding far below the reach of sunlight. Beyond 4,000 meters, the abyss opens up, an endless plain swept by currents colder than ice, under a crushing weight of nearly 600 atmospheres. Here, the bodies of survivors stretch the limits of what life can endure. The supergiant amphipod Alicella gigantea drifts across the seafloor, nearly the size of a football. Its pale, armored shell and spindly legs signal a life spent scavenging whatever falls from above. In these depths, food is so rare that a single meal can last for years. Every movement is deliberate, every calorie precious. Gigantism isn't just a spectacle, it's an energy strategy. Larger bodies store more reserves, making it possible to outlast long stretches of famine. Nearby, the Dumbo octopus hovers just above the sediment, flapping its ear-like fins in slow, graceful arcs. Its gelatinous body, nearly transparent, bends easily under pressure that would crush steel. No need for speed here, slow motion saves energy, and there are few predators to chase. Instead of ink, its defenses are softness and patience. Sleeper sharks, some longer than a car, cruise past in near silence, their hearts beating only a handful of times per minute. Everything in the abyss moves at the pace of the cold and dark. At the cellular level, survival depends on molecular resilience. Deep-sea creatures pack their tissues with compounds like trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO, which shields proteins from collapse under immense pressure. Flexible membranes, rich in unsaturated fats, keep cells functioning even as the cold turns water thick as syrup. These invisible adaptations make possible the slow, ghostly giants that haunt the abyss, a world where the rules of the surface no longer apply, and evolution has written its own script in darkness and silence. At nearly 11,000 meters down, the rules of biology bend under pressure that would flatten a submarine. The Mariana snailfish, the world's deepest known fish, survives at depths where the weight above reaches more than 1,000 atmospheres, over 100 megapascals. Here, every cell is at risk of collapse. To withstand this, deep-sea animals pack their tissues with trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO, a molecule that stabilizes proteins and keeps enzymes working when the force outside is relentless. In the Hadal trenches, TMAO concentrations can reach 300 millimoles per liter, turning flesh almost syrupy, giving these creatures their soft, gelatinous forms. Flexible membranes rich in unsaturated fats let cells function even as cold and pressure close in. These invisible shields, pezolites, are the real armor of the abyss, allowing life to persist in a world where the crushing dark never lifts. Hydrothermal vents crack open the seafloor, releasing jets of mineral-rich water heated by the Earth's core. In these pitch-black oases, life flourishes without a trace of sunlight. Giant tube worms, stretching up to 2 meters long, cluster in tangled forests, their blood-red plumes waving in the chemical-rich flow. Instead of relying on photosynthesis, these creatures host bacteria that transform toxic hydrogen sulfide into energy, a process called chemosynthesis. Nearby, vent clams and ghostly shrimp graze on bacterial mats, while amphipods scuttle through the mineral towers, their bodies adapted to withstand both heat and crushing pressure. Here, survival means harnessing the planet's raw chemistry. These animals are not monsters, they're engineers, thriving in the unlikeliest places, proof that life will find a way even in the deep's most hostile corners. Right now, over 80% of our ocean remains unexplored, its deepest life forms adapting in ways we can barely imagine. Every discovery challenges what we think is possible. The darkness below isn't empty, it's proof that life finds a way, even in the most alien corners of our own planet.